Hello collective, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate you clicking my video. So I thought let's just change the energy because it's a little bit rubbish at the minute, that much we know. But if you're here ready to move forward with an open heart, open mind, then we can just put things to the side. It's not done and finished for some, but it's not about that now. Yeah? Okay, so let's see what the universe wants to start us off with, and then we will take a look at the energy moving forward. So, when I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. And I think that is definitely where we want to be at the minute. Things don't need to be so complicated. So, yeah, let's just move forward. Deal with whatever crap comes when we get there, yeah? Alright, so let's just see the energy that we're dealing with moving forward, and then we can start making a little bit of headway of how to break it down and clear it. So, material harvest, waiting game, accelerated motion, triumph and rejoice and celebration, hope at the bottom of the deck. All right, so material harvest, collectively, all of us, regardless of which part any of us have all played, we're all part of the playing pot. But moving forward, we need to start finding a way that it's fair for all of us. It's going to take a minute, and a lot of people aren't going to want to release the grip on the hold that they have. But we've got to start somewhere. Can't all keep saying we want change, but still people are sat on their ass, sat on their hands and doing nothing to contribute towards that. It's not all about everyone, oh, we're light workers, we're the ones that are going to create the change, and then other people kicking back and making off the back of that. So it's going to become very apparent, those that are working collectively to the greater good and all sorts, and those that don't give a shit. We're not here to convince them or to make people feel a certain way. But if you've got a majority or a group or a starting point, then it's something to work with. Transparency, honesty, treating others how you deserve to be treated. It's the basic rule. It's the baseline to build everything from, not telling people bullshit stories and getting them to align on that. There's too many things that are dashing people's hope within humanity. Everything's a struggle. Everything is untrustworthy. But I don't believe that that is the way. It may be being naive in thinking, but it's got to start somewhere. So that material harvest, yeah, a small crop for some, not all, but we're going to build on it, because this is where the spirit realm are absolutely going to show a difference in acceleration of those that are putting the honest work in, because it's not just us, whether people believe in the spirit realm, and obviously more they are now, but the more that people start understanding and science catches up and whatever, that what we're going to see from the teachings that I get from the light beings are that those that are working towards cooperation, it's not about government, society, we've all got our things with that, but if you can't get on with your neighbours and so, or people that are a stranger across the road and whatever, if you haven't got that decency, that politeness, or that whatever, we're looking at the long game here. It's not going to just transform, but know from what I'm being shown that it's not a putting all a wasted effort. One thing these light beings don't do, they don't waste anything. So energy, definitely not. Yeah, just because it's on a unlimited supply, it still doesn't warrant the wasting efforts, wasting the time. There's always an easier way to go about something, which is the higher perspective, but it's not to be confused with corner cutting and taking from someone that has put the work in. So it's a little bit longer, but it's more watertight. It is the foundation and it holds firm for longer. Leave it to them to deal with those that are absolutely continuing to, it's not even conform, I need a different word, because I even had a resistance when I had my own bit with them about this conforming. It's very militant and government and regimental, and it's a control. It brings up things for me, but when you really reframe it, then you can't want things to have an order and a structure. It's just we want it to be fair. So yeah, so leave that bit to them, and I will share with you some of the things that will give you that sense of, yeah, if that's going to be a thing, if that's really being rolled out, then I can just focus on this side because I know it's not going to be taken away and all of that side. So we'll come to it. The waiting game, the waiting is over. The waiting was over ages ago. It's just there then becomes that filtering side of those that are signing up to getting along and those that are making it clear and apparent that they've got no intentions to. It's not for us to be judge and jury and people's consequences or karma this or you'll be told that, or my ancestors are going to do all this, that and the other. That's none of our business. What gets set up by the divine, the most high, the light beings, or God, or just the universe energy, whatever you want to call it, it is still that higher consciousness that is moving around for all of us, knows our thoughts, knows our feelings, knows how hard we're trying, knows exactly what needs to be adjusted and changed to remove a block and a flow. But the thing to remember is they're not here to live our lives for us. They're not here to go and start running around town kicking people's asses. It's not about that. You need to be fighting for the value of your life. So if you don't care about anything, you're not seeing a future or no silver lining, a reason to dream for a future, then you're not creating anything. So it's just blank. if you're writing your life off, if you've got no value on your own life because of whatever it may look like, and there it's like, I hate myself, I hate life, I've always been fucked over by people, I don't trust anyone, and all of those bits that we've all got and we've all been through, and it's not taking anything away from anyone's experience. But what we're looking at moving forward, or from the angle that I come from with the readings that I put out, is we need to start somewhere. And just because everybody's going against the grain or a different way to the way that you are heading doesn't mean that you're wrong, they're right, or vice versa. It means that at some point there's going to be people that realize that a certain way is bringing more conflict. It is about being judgmental. It is about putting the blocks in the way. And if we just take a minute and be open to knowing we don't know it all, that's what we want to do. We want to learn, how does the universe work and interact with us? How can we integrate that with our everyday experiences, rather than all the jargon of vibrations and frequencies and all the rest of it? You know, it's being made too commercial, too complicated. And I get the taking bit, and everyone wants to make a quick buck. We all do. But we can't keep taking from our own for our community, society, for us to be getting ahead. It's like, oh, there's a raid at the shop, and everyone's running out with their TVs and their trolleys and whatever. Oh, don't worry about it, the insurance for the shop can deal with it. That's all well and good with that, but that's a shop, or that's that. Not saying it's right or wrong, but what I'm saying is, if everyone was running into your next door neighbour's place and they were ransacking that, does it feel the same? We need to start looking out for each other a little bit more and protecting each other a little bit more. Some people are creative, get ideas. Some people are practical and don't get ideas. So it is about sharing, but not siphoning off. So as we move forward through this year, we're going to start seeing shit hitting the fan. It is what we've called in. It is the change that we've been waiting for and asking for. So the uncomfortable side of it is that we also need to see it play out, which is why there's been an emphasis in the readings about those that are empaths or kind, caring, compassion, whatever healing aspect you're coming from, that it's all well and good to be able to be that way, we know, but you also need to be able to it's like you can't want change but not be prepared to toe the line so that there's some kind of structure. And again, I'm not talking about governments, and so I'm on about just us as peers, collective, starting from somewhere. So you can't want change but not conform. It's for everyone else but not for us. It's too contradictory. So you can't want to protect things but yet you're still going and taking because people have got their guard down. That's where these light beings come in, and they're able to step in with that bit. You might be kind, caring and whatever, but you do still need to be able to allow consequences to take their course. This is why it's not about waiting with your popcorn and your marshmallows over the fire, giving it, yeah, I've heard that such and such town, city, street or group are going to get this later, and can't wait to see it play out. It's not about that. It's about get on with what you were doing and leave that to the higher power, higher forces. People need to have their own lessons in a way that they can feel the power of their actions and the impact that they've had on others in order for them to process it properly and recognize how it's making them feel. I'm not talking about those that don't give a shit. It's why waste our time with that. We're on about those that just need that little bit of help, but aren't going to take it from any of us. It needs to come from literally a higher power in a way that their subconscious or their values, their lifestyle, what means the most to them. If you're an emotional person, then it would be an angle with emotions, whereas a lot of people that don't give a shit, all they're looking for is when the next manifestation's coming in, when they're getting what they want, because that's what's going to make them happy, the materialism side. And we're not saying, oh, you've got to be without, not at all. It's about respecting the value of. So it's already pushing through. It's something that we should already be aware of and doing and know. But with gratitude, it's going to be hammering it harder as we move towards the end of the year. Literally as well, as we get to this end of the year, once we move forward into 2026, it's going to shift up again. Normally we get to the January, February, and it's a little bit sluggish and nothing going. It's not. It's going to be hitting the ground running. So for you to be feeling the energy as we're moving forward and embracing that, and being able to, whatever your content creating, your platform or whatever it is with your families, different things, whatever way you can implement it and teach others how to feel it rather than keep describing with that side, then that is in itself massive in regards to moving forward. So from now until March next year is going to be significant in regards to creating that shift. Obviously that shift is going to be met with resistance, but that's not everybody else's problem to worry. Just do what you've got to do. And just to add, because they're showing me with that, what we need to bear in mind is not everybody's here to save the world and do this and whatever. So there's certain people that are here to do certain things. So they're the ones that need to be in position and deal with or do or whatever. With everyone trying to do the same job, the same role or the same change, it is a distortion, whereas the right people doing what they're targeted to do, and then the collective are helping with things that may feel like it's just an everyday nothingness, is exactly what gets undervalued for the importance of the role that it is. That's why there's so many of us. That's why it's important that we are all checking in, that we're on the same page. So things will push forward quickly. but with that as well, it's things moving forward quickly, but you've got to be mindful that you're not getting caught up in that that energy of urgency, because it's fear-based. And that's what, if you're really looking to make a difference in making a change and holding that frequency in place for others to be able to adjust and align to it, as in those that maybe not be into all of this like we all are, they don't need to be. You're holding a frequency by how you're carrying yourself, how you're standing in your truth, your authenticity. It is enough. It doesn't need to be described or explained. It is felt, and it can't be mimicked. It's obviously there's always different scales and intensities of different things, but knowing that you're the best that you can be that day at that time, that you're not openly deceiving, then it's a starting point. And then the energy builds. The more people that are in alignment with that and in tune with that, then the frequency starts to level out and balance itself out. But it becomes a lot stronger, a lot more potent. Sorry for those that already know that bit, but just so again that we're kind of on the same page as we're moving forward, because it's going to keep switching up, which is why we do the energy check-ins. Ultimately, we've got triumph, meaning that it's not as fucked up as what we're being led to believe. It's just that sense of panic. This is why we need to open our eyes to these fear-based stories that keep us stuck. If it's all about healing and empowering ourselves, then it's not that we're pulling away a support mechanism. That's not the case at all. We all need signposts, we all need guidance wherever it comes from. We're not expected to just heal ourselves and get on with it, but the flakiness, the buck passing, the excuses, you're doing people, your peers, a disjustice by keep catching them. You don't catch babies as they're learning to find their footing, as they're beginning to walk. Yeah, you do a bit, but you know that you're there to be there. But it is about them learning to get down and get back up again, but just knowing that someone's got their back, or if they are struggling to get up but they've been trying, that there is that lift, that help. That is the exact same way that ET, spirit realm, most high energy, or universe, whatever you want to call it, that is the exact way that they work. They won't come forward if your go-to is they're gonna keep lifting you up or kicking people's ass and all the rest of it. They need to see that you are able to do it yourself and demonstrate that, and then that gives the consent, let's say, that they're coming in as a support, not a saviour. And that's the bit that a lot of people kind of, as it's all getting thrown into one, that bit is getting confused. I suppose as well, for those that are readers or healers, therapists, whatever way, just basically those that are giving guidance to others, it's with the reframing, it's if you're moving around in the comments, let's say, of whatever platforms, and you're seeing, or you are aware that you're saying, oh, my spirit guides, they do this, they and whatever. If you're spirit guides, higher self, whatever, have to keep engaging in fights and arguments and drama, then know that you're probably not tapped into them, because why are you fighting with everyone and all the rest of it? And I know how loaded that statement, judgmental of me, would sound, but I'll say what I've got to say, but I'm not really into just arguing, fighting and all the rest of it all the time. Nobody is. But those that are looking for attention or feelings or all of that, we know that's another whole other angle. We're not going to there today. We're just trying to find a healthy footing of how we can be all on the same page. We've got rejoice and celebration. The world is adjusting, changing, reforming, old ways collapsing, like we've done at the beginning of this reading. The energy as it opened out was a little bit thin, but we were able to clear it, transform it, and now I hope you're feeling the same, that it's got a bit more of a positive optimism. It's going to be shit and crap. It always is. This thing that it's happiness haters, I'm the worst for giving digs about that. I'll hold my hand up to whatever, but it's this thing that we went through a bit of false positivity. For me, I am genuinely like happy all of the time, but if you're met with turbulent relationships and there's those head-to-head dynamics, then obviously you're not going to be, but your natural state is happier to laugh or I'll cry. It's like, if you've got to choose, wouldn't you choose to be having a laugh more than fucking moaning, miserable? And that's what we need to be pulling away from, this gossiping. And again, I understand how loaded that is, but let's be fair, my name's been in plenty of mouths with nothing but shit to say, not dragging up the past, making a point that it's good for one, it's good for the other. There's too much giving and not being able to take it back, because that side of the coin was never ever expected to become a reality or choice or an option. What we're seeing now is everything is on the table to choose from. All dynamics, all ways. It's going to keep switching up. So diversity, being versatile is going to be a real thing. Fluid, not going with the flow, that's I suppose the basic way of saying, but there's going to be lots of depths to things that look simple, but really it's coded more complicated. So I suppose that's even confusing as I'm saying. Things don't need to be as complicated as they are. We make it that way. What the light beings are showing, and hopefully there's different things that when it comes up I can demonstrate what they've helped me to understand. But it looks simple, so that's the easy way without cutting corners. There's no bypassing. Have to feel it to lock it in, understand it, and be able to retain it. So that's the DNA codings, all of that. So, but when we break it down, it starts seeming complicated because of the multi-dimensional layers that are contained within its makeup. But then when you understand how it's all come together and how it's locked in, for whatever bit of energy work we're doing, for those as well that you're intuitive or whatever, let's work with it, and I'll show you how it works for me. So once you get that bit and you understand the layers, the depths, and so then you step away from it, and then you're viewing it again as just something so simple. Hopefully that's made sense. And that's the cheers. Cheers, big ears. So yeah, I hope that feels a little bit more uplifting and positive. It's a way of just we're doing what we do every day, Monday in. If you're a content creator, you're getting up, you're doing your content, you're putting it out, you're still going through those motions, you're in a routine, same. But what I'm hoping that we can just kind of influence the energy, which we can, to a bit more of a having fun with it. Not this persona of hello, da 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 da, because it's expected, or that's the way it's supposed to be for it to be accepted or for that to be real. It's not. It's if you're coming on and it feels a bit shitty, then it doesn't matter. It's not for you to have to hold the world with the energy. Obviously, if you're having a real bad day, then you just don't come on camera. But what we've got to move away from is you're not an energy power bank for everybody to latch onto and suck dry. And then once your video's done, they click off that, they jump straight onto another, and then straight onto another. We've all done it, we all do it. We've got different purposes and reasons for doing that. But a lot of the time for the viewers that aren't content creators, they can just suck everything dry, but are bypassing the processing of the emotions. You put the energy into the content that you create because you're looking to move that stagnant energy, to take someone from feeling low and give them a bit of a direction, or hopefully leave them on a bit of a high, and then it's down for them to continue and hold that frequency. Whereas what you're getting is people are absorbing you, your character, the essence that you portray through the camera, and then as soon as you're done, it's like, oh yeah, that was good, I enjoyed that. But instead of leaving it there, because that's the actual you've got them to that point, instead of leaving them there, they jump straight into another one, which could be a contradiction of what you've just, the space you've just got them to, and then it spirals them down. Or one said one thing, one said another, and now they're confused, and now they're looking for that, or they didn't get the answer that they're wanting to hear. You know, it's about not tough love and whatever, but we do know that we've got a duty to toughen a little bit, make them robust, the flakier ones that find it easier for, can you just do it for me? Those times are gone. We're building a strong foundation, and whilst everything's gone to shit and still crumbling and finding its transformation, replacement, whatever it's going to be, we might as well just have fun with getting in our flow, isn't it? That's how I see it anyway. So we've got the Seven of Wands. It's overcoming obstacles and the gratitude. At least there was a harvest. At least you do have the energy, the health to get up another day. It doesn't matter, as long as you're doing your bit. It may be feeling it's unnoticed by those that are around us, but it's not always going to be like that. It is changing, and you're going to see signs of that change pushing through a lot quicker than the normal narrative of it's going to change. You'll know yourself your own signs, your own confirmations that will come forward for you. That's what is moving around now. It's just people are needing to pay attention that little bit more. It's okay knowing everything, but are you still paying attention? I think there's been things that's made it clear that a lot of people aren't, myself included. So we've got the Three of Wands in reverse, the waiting game. The waiting game's over. This is it now. Not waiting for what's coming in, our ships coming in and all of that. That's the hook, that's the catch. Waiting for something, waiting for something. How can you be waiting for anything if past, present and future are all now? There's nothing to wait for. You're enjoying the moment, you're making the most of that, which is why gratitude holds its highest power at the moment, and it's the one thing that gets overlooked. I'm always grateful. I've got a gratitude list. You don't even need a list anymore. You should know when you see something, oh, I've gone out, it started pissing with rain and I've brought my umbrella with me. You're grateful that you've brought your umbrella. Or you didn't have an umbrella, but at least your hair didn't get soaked and you were able to still get to your destination with your hair dry and all the rest of it, for argument's sake. You see, there's plenty to be grateful for. Doesn't mean your whole world shifted and you're a millionaire or whatever, all your problems have gone away. It just means if you can't even be grateful for what you've got around you now and recognise what that looks like, taking things for granted, we take each other for granted. It's not about being a martyr. It's about someone's done something or brought you a cup of tea. It's like, oh, it's just courtesy, isn't it? But we feel when we're kind of already that way that it's normal. Well, everyone knows that, the basics, but they don't do it. This is the thing. There's so many bits that are just the fundamental basics that we all say we know, but no one implements it. That would make life so much easier as a wheel of fortune, wheel of fate, to get that wheel in motion. So yeah, accelerated motion. We've got here justice. Like I was saying, it's not about when people are gonna get their comeuppance for this, that and the other. For my example as well, it doesn't matter for me how long ago I was told at the beginning of all of this rolling out and the piecing things together. You're not here to be like your nervous system to be shot to bits and frazzle out and then you're done. Maybe that had been an intention for some, but you're given that you can handle, and that is the truth. So you may need to unpack certain things that are a shock, or from a perspective of disbelief, it gets unpacked, you get your head around that, or you understand it. Once that's understood, you're ready for the next bit. It depends on how fast you are working things out, piecing things together, moving past it, getting over it, healing from it, and not being left with whatever. When you lay something to rest, or when you've completed something and it's done, which is another basics that people aren't doing. They're carrying stuff forward into the next bit, taking stuff from previous relationships and dumping it onto the new relationship. Why should that new person take shit that's gone on by someone else in another relationship? Why don't you take a minute to sit to the side and work through that, so then when you do get involved with someone else, that you're starting a new cycle with someone new? Because sitting there trying to call in, oh, I want a new beginning and I want that, then it's not fair on the person that you're getting involved with, for example purposes only, but it's not fair on that person. That's why we've got so many people that are so insecure within relationships, because it's like, don't want to be on our own, because we might be on our own forever. And it's easy to say, oh, you're not going to be on your own forever. I don't know what your life's like. Maybe you might be. But that loneliness thing, that's a distortion. We will look into it more, because so many people go through it, and it is a tough one. I'm not just being flippant about, oh, I don't get lonely if I'm there. It's, yeah, I've got the spirit world, different things. I've got things that I've known for a long time that I can lean on, and I appreciate people, others don't have that, or someone could have been with a partner, a husband, a wife for years, and then they've passed, and they've got to then restart life alone. They might not have children or things like that. We get it. There's a lot that goes in, but we need to be there for each other a bit more. And it might be, oh, being romantic or being like in an ideal world, but where the fuck are we going to start it from then, if we don't have things like that as a baseline or a structure to draw from? Like seeing, and don't watch the news, and I know many of you don't also, but there was the a hotel, obviously, that's all in question, but the guy that let himself into that old lady's house, and she was in bed blind because she just got out of hospital, and all of that makes my stomach turn, makes my skin crawl. I'm still at the stage of, I kind of don't want, it's like I don't know what to do with those emotions and feelings. So it's not that, oh, I'm composed with my feelings and I don't feel a thing and I can just transmute it. It's not even like that. I'm still learning. I'm still being taught how to blooming hold my temper from bubbling and exploding and being a whole complete nightmare. So if that's you as well, or something that you want, that's the type of stuff that they're showing me, and I can show you, or we can do it together. You know, because there are loads of older people vulnerable. Why did it have to be with this C word that we must never mention, everyone pulled together? And you've got to admit, lots of people, they liked the community feel and the whole circumstances. Then it's like, oh, what they've done to us. It starts spiraling to that bit. I like it's how are we capturing and holding on to that essence? Everything's easy to spiral off to the rubbishness. That's the easy bit. So we've got the justice. It's our world, our planet. It's our time, our children, our future, our grandparents, our time. We're the ones. This is our time to adjust the direction. We can all not give a shit anymore, and then the younger generation coming up, it's like it's beyond overwhelming for what they've got to pull back, whereas where we're all positioned at the minute, we can get a handle on things with them in mind. It's not as impossible as it may feel. The light beings, that is their blueprint. That's why they're looking at us, and they know that we're not miles and miles off the mark. We're closer than we're being led to believe. So with triumph, yeah, we've got the 10 of Cups. It's an ideal. Nothing about being all unrealistic. Oh yeah, well, if you want to stick your head in the clouds, yeah, I will actually, thanks. I'd rather stick my head in the clouds and have a clear minute to think, re-energize, and come back and face all of this shit. It's always going to be rubbish. But where do you get your inner peace? Where do you ground yourself? Dreams come from fantasies. It comes from that place of stillness, and then you get inspired. Different things. Romanticizing doesn't mean that you're naive or you're an easy target, and I think we can all laugh at that, can't we? Because we can absolutely call it wrong. There's nothing about anyone being an easy target these days. But there are particular types that no one can even manage. That's why the beauty of the light beings coming in. It's not all love and light angels. They are all of it. They are higher conscious. If you are absolutely a horror story, then they are going to match that more than what any of us can do to get somebody to reframe, re-see, or to tap into them on a level that they don't want to lose this, lose that, or whatever. If we're a bit more emotional and feelings based, then we are going to be a softer approach, whereas some people don't give a shit. You need a different level to match with that and be able to enforce it. It's like what was put forward. No one's going to believe you, are they? It'd be like, oh, I had a light being, a plasma light being, like literally had me pinned in the corner, and now I've just started, my life has started collapsing, until they put the stop on it with the recognizing the impact that they're having on those around them. They'll just keep, it'll drain, and will siphon off, and the only way they can make it stop is by reframing, but on a whole level. It's not like, yeah, just make it stop. It's like, what are you putting into action moving forward? That's what's coming. That's the stuff. We can't do anything to make that a thing. But if you really were to think about it, wouldn't it be amazing if we could put that in the fantasy pot and it start becoming an actual thing? This is the co-creating. It's like they are here with us. There is no veil. Whether you can see them or not, they are very much here. We're helping them, and they are able to assist us. And this is what it's all about, harmonizing. But angels aren't just fluffy little things. They can go to any level. Yeah, just even with that, it's letting go of not, forgetting everything you know. I'm not really a promoter of that saying, but if we're holding on to certain beliefs and stigmas of this, that and the other. How do you know that that's it if you aren't directly experiencing it? And it's the exam, oh, mind parasites, doing this, doing that. Well, for those that know or have experienced me so far, I'm not coming from all of the fear-mongering side that they're saying. So what am I tapped into? And the narrative and the story changed, because at one point it was going to be pulling all of this down to cause that wedge in between, because they are absolutely here to help humanity, to give us those healing perspectives. You won't be seeing med beds, but you will be able to heal each other on an emotional level to start with. We've got to stop hurting each other in order to be able to have a minute to be able to put things behind us, but really leave it behind. Not giving it, oh yeah, I will, when the first chance is fucking someone over or stabbing them in the back, holding a grudge but smiling in the face. It's about the depth of, being real. It's, you can't hide it. It's about feelings, and those that are closed off to feelings or disconnected, it doesn't matter. There's going to be a way that works for everyone, that works for them. Ultimately, we are all connected, and they are already showing us how it happens. So with our rejoice and celebration, we're not all going to get on, and we know that we're not. Sometimes it does need conflict in order to clear the air. If we didn't have arguments and misunderstandings, then we would never expand our perspective on seeing something another way, learning conflict resolution, how to find a resolve, learning that it's not always about needing to be the winner. For me, it's, I'm happy to let it go, but when I do want to win, then if I've let things go, then I won't be backing down on that bit. You know, there's compromises, controlling the outcome. I'm still learning that bit. There's loads that we can learn, but it doesn't need to be a freaking big drama. You can have a laugh with it. They're so funny. You've got to see how funny they are when they start really being able to make their presence shown. So we've got the Five of Cups. There's no getting away of it is going to feel a lot darker, but if we're all going through it, but we've got a bit of direction. I'm as disappointed as anyone with all of this spiritual movement, hijacking and whatever, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to be losing sleep over it. It's just, you just got to get on with it and create that change. So we need to be able to recognize people need a space to grieve, to be sad, because in those low places, that's where they find that spark that motivates them to get up and fight for their life and so on. You know, it's that survival, that spark. So it's that compassion, that encouragement, but people do need that space to be able to connect with that sadness, but not get stuck staying there. We've got here the Emperor, which is stepping into our power. It's becoming our own empowered authority. It's about not letting us get trampled all over with the systems and things like that. If there's bits we all know that aren't working, now is the time to think, well, how do we need it to be, or what would be an ideal? Because with the light beings and the higher consciousness that are ready and waiting to help maneuver or adjust our majority dreams or directions in a particular place, they're the ones that absolutely can do things behind the scenes. It's just like a little bit of a nudge or an adjustment or a removal of someone or something, you know, to make things flow a little bit better. Everything's not completely broken. It's just, it's unfair. The Six of Pentacles. In the head isn't the way. It's about feeling it. Does it feel right? Do I feel okay with this? It's strengthening our sensitivity for that, so that the other senses that we do have start powering up and coming online. But if we're not sensitive to the basics, then we're not going to be able to move forward into things like the telepathy or all of the other bits that we'll do things, but all of the other bits that are ready to come forward. It's okay, people like, oh, I've got this ability and I'm doing this and I'm this and I'm that. It's, you can say that you're whatever you want to be, but there is a process that needs to be built upon, and you can only get to that stage when you've got the other bits are strong enough, exercised, like the intuition, things like that, your sensitivity to atmosphere around you. You're not going to be able to work all of those bits out or train yourself to feel things like that when you've got absolute kicking off, arguing, masking with like drugged out of faces and pissed out of our heads and holding grudges, can't let things go. It's just, it's not even, it's what are you trying to do with yourself? Because you're not looking to make things any easier. That's why removing of the masks, as we're saying, or people being able to all start going through it at the same time, it's not as painful for being so vulnerable and on display, because it is the worst bit. How are we going to be seen? Like what we are seeing when I've been calling people out, how uncomfortable as it made people feel, cringing and all sorts. But it's the weapon that's used, people's character or how they're seen. It's like shaming. It's got to stop. So yeah, it's coming out of the head and feeling the answer. It's no right or wrong. You're always adjusting, like that card said at the beginning, which was, when I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. It's still going to take a minute, but we can at least have fun with this next chapter, this next bit moving forward. So yeah, Page of Swords. Living life by example, the best that you can make your little bit individually, and then we connect as a whole. It all interlinks. Then you've got those that are still a little bit dubious or not so sure, and slowly they'll come forward. It's not having to wake people's asses up and get them to, come on, remove your mask. It's not about that, but if people are going to start tearing down those that are brave enough and ready to put themselves out there, then they're the ones that then become they will be shown the example. It's you can't be getting away with that shit anymore. Maybe before, and they're not going to believe it, are they? Because they've never been told or stopped or shown. But that was then, this is now. It's about the change we've called in. So yeah, let's just grab another one of these to round it up. So thank you for your listening ears, for those who have made it till the end. I really do appreciate that you clicked and came forward, probably cringing like, oh my god, I almost don't want to hear who she's going to be digging out. But it's not about that. And yeah, it's not gone away, just to make that bit clear. So we have, I surrender to a power greater than me, in the sense of higher power, because we're not doing the control thing. That's too loaded. All right, so there you go. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.